This kid had no idea what was coming. He couldn't even beat a rabbit back home. But after joining the military, he scared the instructor half to death because Jack was giving off this insane, terrifying pressure. This battle-hardened one-armed veteran literally froze up. What kind of monster was sitting next to her? But Jack actually thought he was super weak because he really was the weakest person in his village. He just arrived at the capital 2 days ago. The trip took him 6 whole days. The witch handling his registration said if you take the train, it actually does take that long. The witch was shocked and asked, "Are you even human? That speed and you're calling yourself weak?" But Jack explained if it was his grandpa, he could make it in just 2 days. The witch couldn't help but confirm. "Wait, did you run into any monsters on the way?" Jack thought his luck was pretty good. Didn't see a single monster on the road. Just bumped into some animals, like giant bugs and fire-breathing lizards. The witch screamed those are dangerous monsters. But Jack figured, only things screaming about conquering the world are monsters. The witch freaked out and said that would be a demon lord. She moved too fast and got burned by her coffee. Jack quickly pulled out his handkerchief to wipe her face. That one wipe left the witch absolutely stunned. Her face suddenly became smooth as a baby's skin. All her wrinkles and freckles completely vanished. Turns out this was Jack's little life hack. Just write the word purify in RuneScript, and even the toughest stains could be easily removed by the handkerchief. The witch completely froze on the spot, because RuneScript is the most difficult ancient magic. Mastering just one could easily destroy a nation. If you mastered multiple runes, you could literally end the world. And now it's being used to clean stains. The next day when Jack went out, he found a girl cornered by a giant bug. He stepped right up and crushed it with one stomp. While the girl stared in shock, he casually picked up the bug and tossed it away, and commented the city has quite a few bugs too, then walked over to comfort the girl, because girls are usually pretty scared of these things. Seeing she got some dirt on her, he quickly pulled out his handkerchief to wipe it off, then walked away like a boss. This whole sequence made Saren fall head over heels, but she was a cursed girl, with a nickname like Belt Girl. How could she be worthy of such a powerful guy? Since childhood all her relatives mocked her, because she always had this belt wrapped around her head that wouldn't come off. Even when priests tried exorcisms, nothing worked. She thought the curse would follow her forever, but when she got home today the belt actually fell off. Could it be because Jack wiped her with his handkerchief? Finally it was time for the military exam, because the country needed recruits. The instructor specifically recruited many famous people, like the notorious mercenary One Arm. She once beat up her employer, and is still wanted by the kingdom. She's here now, because the instructor promised if she joins the military, the warrant would be dropped. Right now One Arm was internally freaking out, because sitting next to her was some terrifying being. Although he looked totally ordinary, the pressure he unconsciously gave off was stronger than anyone Shed ever met. At this moment Jack wanted to chat with One Arm, because he thought her mechanical arm was really cool. But One Arm instinctively went into battle stance, because Jack's oppressive aura was way too intense. Seeing him stand up, One Arm thought she was about to get killed. Turns out Jack just wanted to introduce himself. Then Saren suddenly appeared and shoved One Arm aside. She already decided Jack was her soulmate, and acted completely obsessed. Until Jack explained he just met One Arm. Then Saren finally backed off. Now the exam officially started. The instructor's eyes never left Jack. After all, if Jack suddenly lost control, everyone here wouldn't be enough for him to take down alone. Just then a deputy officer came to report. The instructor figured he couldn't just stare at one person. Besides, with Jack's power he would definitely pass, so he left the scene. But an accident still happened. When results were announced the next day, Jack discovered he actually failed. This kid never expected. The reason he failed to join the military was because the examiner was too weak. They literally couldn't read the ancient script he wrote. At this moment 2 people were looking around. They didn't believe a powerhouse like Jack could fail. When mercenary One Arm looked at the head examiner, she suddenly realized he seemed even more anxious than her. Just as the chief instructor was about to rip through the files, the deputy called him to give a speech. After that, the 3 of them had zero interest in anything else. All they could think about was where Jack went. At this moment Jack was looking for work. The moment he walked in the shop he got attacked. Jack easily dodged it, and explained he wasn't a bad guy. The shop owner was confused too. As the former head of the Princess Guard, whether it's power or perception, he was top tier in the kingdom. But after seeing Jack, he was so scared he instinctively attacked. Could this guy be here to gather intel on the princess? Then Jack said he was here for a job. The owner said this is a restaurant. Do you have any special skills? The owner told Jack to show him, and got into a fighting stance. Turns out Jack actually went to cook, and his cooking technique was super skilled. During their chat, the owner learned Jack failed the military exam, so he wanted to work in the capital for a year and apply again next year. The owner internally thought this lie is way too ridiculous. With Jack's power, there's no way he could fail. At this moment, the trio was checking Jack's test paper. They didn't understand why there were weird symbols on it. Then the deputy slapped the head examiner. "This is clearly the legendary rune script. You were the one who taught me. You said it was for national peace, but you can't even read a single character yourself. Right now the priority is to find Jack immediately." At this time Jack had already finished cooking. The owner tasted it and was blown away. But this really was just ordinary delicious food. Could he really just be here for work? At this moment the chief instructor found the examiner to ask for information. Meanwhile the village chief and witch were shocked to hear Jack didn't pass. The chief quickly reacted. A country with such poor judgment should just be destroyed. The witch barely managed to talk him down. The next day the chief instructor suddenly noticed his regular restaurant was especially crowded today. You gotta know this was a budget cafeteria, famous for big portions that fill you up but taste terrible. Young people normally wouldn't come here, so this situation was definitely abnormal. Then Jack came out carrying an omelette rice, said hi and went out to buy ingredients. The chief instructor almost choked. At this moment Jack noticed two people fighting outside. One of them was Saren, who he met a few days ago. Saren saw Jack and immediately rushed out. She thought Jack was going to play hero and save her again. They were such a perfect match. Then everyone rushed over, wanting to understand the situation. Saren explained Jack was protecting her, about to take down this rude man. The chief instructor immediately asked if this was true. Alan said that's not it at all. He's a soldier after all. There's no way he'd attack a civilian. The deputy found this strange. Normally you'd say, harming someone you're supposed to protect is a disgrace to soldiers. Then you'd beat them until they reform. The chief quietly explained. Jack is the guy who wrote in rune script. Next second the deputy announced the match would start. Alan thought the chief wanted to see his skills, so he asked Jack to spar with him. Jack said he's really weak, but if you don't mind we can try. One arm wondered if Alan was done for. The chief explained Alan was known for strong defense. As long as he doesn't take a full power hit to an unguarded vital spot, he should be fine.
よし、君と俺とじゃさすがにハンデが必要だろう。先に一発顔面を思いっきり殴ってくれ。俺の一番の売りは眼強さなんでな。はい、頑張ります。では、ネルトファンの旦那。あいつ死んだな。おい、何ぼーっとしてるんだ。飛べるぞ。行きまーす。行くな。